my channel. Today's video is going to be a brand focused video on Smashbox. I actually did an event with them last week in Galway here, along with Janine Bird, who was their head coach for the UK and Ireland, which was so class. And I was previously brought away to London by the brand as well with a few other Irish bloggers. So between those two kind of events, I have been gifted a good few bits from the brand, and I've also bought some bits myself. So I actually do have quite a good amount of stuff accumulated now, and some of the things live very happily in my kit, and I use them quite happily on clients as well. So I'm going to kind of run through all the products I have of the brand. There's one thing actually that I did get that I'm pretty sure I can't show you, so I'm going to leave it out of this video because I had a trawl across the internet and I can't find it anywhere, and I'm nearly sure they said it hasn't been released yet. So but I will run through all the other products, and I'm going to try bits on for you as we go along. We'll try and do a proper tutorial as well, and I'll let you know what I kind of like and what I maybe don't like as much. And yeah, so I'm going to start off with the foundation primer. I have like a proper little mini tube of this that lives in my kit, but I got this along with this guy, which is actually the newest thing that I bought myself yesterday, and I am going to be doing my first impressions on this because I've heard other people raving about it, and when I saw Janine and some of the girls on Country using this at the event last week, I was like, I really want to get it, and I just picked it up myself yesterday. So this is the Halo Hydrating Perfecting Powder in Fair, and it came with this tiny little sample of the original foundation primer. So I'm going to start off and pop that all over my face. So this is one of these like silicone primers. They're great. I mean, they do the job for what you know, if it's for what you need. So this is the kind of primer that I would use in my kit. I'd always have one of these kind of silicone primers in my kit. Now I have two foundations. This I got myself, and I've had this for ages, for years. This is the Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. 1.1 is the lightest colour so far. So I'm going to use this, but I also want to use the brand new BB Water, which I am loving. Now I love these really fluid, lightweight foundations daily, like for more daily use, and this has an SPF of 30 in it as well. It's just one of these lovely super hydrating foundations, and well, BB Water foundation, same thing. It's very fluid though, and it has quite low coverage, but it can be built up because I'm pretty sure this is film forming, and I heard Janine saying that over time with regular use of this, it'll actually improve the hydration levels in your skin because of the ingredients it contains, which is quite cool. So you need to give this a good shake. I'm going to apply this first, and then I'll apply a little bit of this wherever I want more coverage. This is one of these dropper bottles as well, so you want to depress the top of the lid. That'll get rid of any air in the dropper. Then let it up and a couple of drops. Now you can apply this with a brush or your fingers or a sponge. They kind of suggest a finger. I don't love fingers for foundation. Sometimes it's okay if I'm in a hurry or whatever, but generally no. So what I'm just going to do here is like kind of plonk it on the face first with my fingers, but then I'm going to use my sponge. This is the W7 one, but any sponge will do, and then use that to kind of bounce it in place. Now it won't cover any blemishes because it is a very lightweight base. But it will even out skin tone, and it gives the most beautiful kind of satin dewy finish. Like, it's not in your face shiny dewy, but it's definitely on matte. It gives a really nice kind of slightly glowy finish to the skin. Okay, so you can see there it's definitely lightened up my face to match my neck a little bit closer, but it's just lovely. It has a really nice kind of healthy sheen to the skin. It feels very comfortable on the skin. Great for anyone who's like normal to dry. I wouldn't really use it on anyone who's oily. Lovely for anyone who's dry though, and who doesn't want a lot of coverage, even though you can build up a little bit. Then I'm going to pop a little bit of the Studio Skin foundation, just more so around the outside almost. It's like half a shade darker really. It's not massively darker, but this is much more significant on the face in that like it will cover blemishes and stuff a little bit more. So this foundation, I wore this when I was at the event as well, but say like if I'm working at weddings and anywhere where I need my foundation to last, this is a great one. It's more medium full coverage, so it does give you good coverage, even though I'm not going to go for full coverage today. It is a really long lasting foundation. It's hydrating, but it's oil free, which is what I really like. It's like, I wouldn't say it's matte, it's more of a satin finish, but the longevity of it really blows me away considering it's so comfortable on the skin. Okay, I jumped ahead and applied some concealer because I have no concealer belonging to Smashbox. I just use like my Maybelline Fit Me. That's actually something I should have mentioned. This photographs like a dream. I use this on brides and I love how it looks. It just photographs so well. This particular one doesn't have any sunblock in it, so that's probably one of the reasons why it photographs so well. Then for a bit of contour, actually no, I'm going to highlight first. So this is one of the newer products I got. This is one of their LA Lights Blendable Cheek Color Sticks. This is called Hollywood and Highlight, and it's this gorgeous pearlescent just stick. I don't know, can you see that? Yeah, really beautiful. So I showed these because I did a Smashbox haul after London, but I showed a few of the other ones I have. I already have Silverlake Sunset, which is this gorgeous peach shade. So pretty as well, and these can be used on the cheeks and lips, like I said. I'm pretty sure I just said that. Then there's this kind of plummy shade, which I think I just mixed in with some foundation, whoops, but it'll give you an idea of what that's like. So gorgeous as well. Because these are cream based, you can actually shear them down or build them up, so yeah, you can pretty much use them on any skin tone. And then this is Venice Beach Bronze. I know I haven't used this yet, so I'm not going to swatch it because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it is this beautiful just this really bronze, like gorgeous kind of goldy bronze shade. So yeah, those are those. And I'm gonna pop, oh yeah, they come with like there's a lid on the other end, but there's this little spongy thing, so you can see like these ones are dirty from trying it out before. I do try and clean them a little bit, but you can use the sponge to then blend it into the skin. For this though, I would probably just pop this straight on here and then use my fingers. But I love this highlight, like I really like this highlight now. So yeah, this is perfect for like strobing as well. And of course, like this particular kind of finish or formula will suit someone who's more normal and then or dry, not really anyone who has oily skin. And you could just pop that in your handbag as well if you wanted to touch up throughout the day. I'm going to use one of these on my cheeks as well. Let's see. Will I pop a little bit of this on? I'll go easy though. So this is the Malibu Berry. And again, you can use the other end, but I just like to use my fingers. This is lovely if you just want that really natural flush. Because you can still see, like there's a translucency to it. You can still see skin through it. So yeah, you can see that kind of finish. Now I would definitely need to set this with powder. If you were drier, maybe you wouldn't, but me, I definitely would. And then what I'm going to do is use, and now these aren't my favourite of their products, these are the contouring sticks. Some people love these, some people don't like them. I think they're like Marmite. The highlighter I can actually use as a concealer only, because it's actually like the same colour, if not a little bit darker than, like you can see there, possibly even a little bit darker than my own skin tone. It is yellow based though, so it's actually really good for concealing any redness, so that's what I use that for. And then you have the bronze stick and the contour stick. The bronze stick I don't use it myself, but I have used it on clients. But the contour stick is like, it's supposed to be one shade fits all. I do think they personally suit slightly darker skin tones than the very fair, which is me and probably not most of the population. But I'm going to use a little bit of the contour stick to contour, obviously. You can actually use this on light skin. You can see there how like when you go light-handed with it, it is it's grand for light skin. It's up to you how much you build up and how much you apply. And I will use it down my nose as well. I actually quite like using nose contours, cream contours for my nose, because I think sometimes they're a bit more natural than powder contours. That's enough of that, even though obviously I didn't go too overboard, but it'll give you an idea of how they work. And like I said, some people love those sticks, some people don't like them. I'm kind of in the middle about them. Now, then I'm going to, will I set my, yeah, I'll set my base. I'm going to try this guy, and this is my first time using this. So there was a sticker on this and I took it off. Again, this is the Halo Hydrating Powder. And then you have these little holes in the top, and then what you do is you, hold on, I'm not going to do this right now, am I? Oh yeah, you rotate this. Can I do it and show you? And what that does is it pushes up the product a little bit and it kind of shaves some of it off. Can you see that there's more coming up there? I don't know if I'm describing that right, but basically you don't get a ton of product coming up, which I think is absolutely fab, because I've been really wanting to try out this powder for a while. So I think that's great, because I mean, a lot of these loose powders can be a pain in the arse because they just go everywhere and there's way too much product, and there's a lot of way too much product comes up and there's a lot of wastage. So I'm going to use just one of my Zoeva brushes to pat this in place. Yeah, that's sitting lovely on the skin so far anyhow. I mean, this is just first impressions, and the colour is fine. Like I said, I was worried it was going to be darker, but it's not, it's fine. And it seems to be like a neutral enough colour, maybe with a tad. Yeah, it has a bit of a yellow base, if you can see on that tissue. But yeah, there we go. So far so good. It'd be interesting to see how it lasts. Now, for the eyes, so I don't want to be all day here, I have a little sample size of the lid primer. I think this came with the full exposure palette, which you'll see in a few minutes, which I bought myself. Or maybe did I get this when I was in London? I actually can't remember. But this has a slight kind of yellow base to it, which is great because it'll help counteract any redness on your lids, which most of us tend to have a little bit of. Then for eyeshadow, I'm going to use this guy, which is the Smashbox Full Exposure Palette. This has been out for a couple of years. It did come with actually quite a decent brush. I have no idea where it's gone. I mean, it's somewhere, obviously, but I just don't know where it is. I had a quick look and I couldn't find it. The brush was quite decent. This is an underrated palette. I think a lot of people misunderstood how to use this top row because it's pressed pigment, but it can just go everywhere if you're not careful, and it does need a tacky base or a damp base to like stick onto. A lot of people didn't realise that, they just thought it was maybe a glittery eyeshadow. You do need to use these with caution. That middle shade is gorgeous. Now this, I suppose on most people could be used as a highlight. It's not light enough for me. I'm just going to go ahead and throw on my Pale Pebble Shadow by Max Factor as per usual, because I seem to be living in that lately. You can see it's much loved. Back to the full exposure. I don't have the second one of this, I only got the first one. I'm going to use this guy here as inner corner highlight. So let's see, I think I might wet one of the top colours and just show you what it looks like on. I don't have, oh, that's something I do have on my wish list, is the foundation, no, the primer spray, like the water primer. I do want to get that. Now, it is kind of gimmicky in that, like it's very similar to the, not so much the Fix Plus, more the mineralized one of these by MAC, but it does contain certain ingredients that doesn't contain that I like the sound of, and it's just gorgeous on the skin. But I love the dispenser more on the Smashbox one than this one. The MAC one drives me nuts, the way sometimes it just puts blobs of water on your skin, whereas the Smashbox spray is like a really fine mist, so you don't get like blobs of water all over your face. So I'm just going to put some Fix Plus on the back of my hand. I'm going to go into, we're going to something nice and light because I think I'm going to be using a dark lipstick. I'm going to go into one of these top champagne-y shades, and I'm going to mix it in with some water, and that goes on more like a foil rather than a glitter. So that's definitely a way you can use it. Just dampen your brush or put some like water in the back of your hand like I did, and you can see there it just gives that lovely foil effect. So it's not so much a glitter like it would be if you pressed it over a cream base. It actually goes on more like a really even foil base. How many times did I say foil there? Okay, and then just quickly I'm going to pop, I'm going to stick on the warm side. This is my favorite side, is the warm side here. So I'm going to pop some of those shades just into the crease without going crazy. The matte shades are lovely, they're not too powdery, they like go onto the skin. I'm actually quite a big fan of this palette. Those colours would be gorgeous on blue eyes now that I look at them, because they're very kind of yellow based. But anyhow, I'm going to go into this darker brown, which I love. It's just a really lovely dark rich brown, and pop a little bit of that just into the outer corner. And I'm not going to worry about this makeup looking too perfect because I'm kind of rushing through this. I just want to plop everything on my face so you can get a feel for them. Yeah. So that's that guy. That's the full exposure palette, which I did by myself like when it was first, well, kind of shortly after it was released. I think that was a few years ago. Maybe like 2-3 years ago, I don't know. Anyhow, I have a sample of the full exposure mascara. It's not my favourite mascara in the world, I have to say. It's grand. I was just a little bit underwhelmed by it because I just don't think it kind of gives me the volume from mascaras that I like. I think it's better for length maybe, but with this kind of fat brush I would expect volume. And it's so typical. Now that I'm using it, I'm like, that looks really nice. I think it's because it had time to mature in the bottle, because it's a while since in this, like, it's a while since I used it. And that happens a lot with mascaras, where if you kind of leave them almost dry out a tiny little bit, they kind of work a little bit better. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening with this, because I actually really like how this looks. Yeah, that mascara is way nicer now than it was last time I tried it. So it definitely gets a little bit better when you just kind of leave it stew for a while. Okay, next we have eyebrows. And eyebrows, Smashbox have you covered with eyebrows, I'll tell you that. I remember I bought this myself a few years ago now. It is the Brow Tech, the duo. It has like 2 powders and then a wax. I don't know why I can't talk. The wax I don't use as much, even though I have used it. The brow powders I liked, but really, really nice. I'm not going to use this today because there's other things I want to watch. Fun. I don't know. Anyhow, there's other things I want to use. So this, it's in my kit. That's where that lives, and I do happily use it. Same kind of on strawberry blonde people, or people who are slightly red-headed, but more red-headed brunette, if you know what I mean. Really, really like that though. So that is, yeah, the Brow Tech. Then I bought these myself after I'm causing havoc. Anyhow, I bought these myself after I saw Janine demoing these at the London Masterclass when I was there earlier on in the year. I fell in love with them. So I bought taupe and brunette. I was using taupe when my hair was lighter, obviously. And then the brunette is what I use on myself now. I won't be using these today. I have used these in tutorials before, but basically this is very like, I think it's Hourglass have one of these, and there's a couple of brands, but basically it's like a triangle shaped pencil. Oh, I love it, because this side is quite narrow, so I can really, really get my tail in perfectly, like my eyebrow tail obviously. I can get that drawn in perfectly, and then the thicker part I just run through my brows. And then the handy part is that there's a clear gel in the other end. So handy. But like I said, I have used this before on my channel, so I'm not going to use it today. The taupe one is lovely as well. What I'm going to use today are these guys. These are 2 of the newest ones. This one I was very interested to hear about, and I heard about it for the first time at the event last week. This is it's a Brow Tech highlight stick, which sounds very strange for your brows. You actually brush it through the brows back to front. This is like a gold stick, gold shimmer. It's kind of weird, and like when I heard Janine talking about it and when she demoed it, I was like, that's actually cool. And you just wouldn't understand it really. So it is like a shimmery, like gold stick. Like, I have plenty of pencils kind of a similar shade. So the idea, now this probably isn't my colour, because I know they have 2 colours out, but I'm going to use it today anyhow. The idea behind this is that you draw it on backwards. So don't draw it through your brows the way you would a normal one, because otherwise you will have crazy. And this is my first time using this as well, so I have no idea how it's going to turn out. I have a brush on the other end, so use that to brush it through as well. Like, you want the hairs to be going in the wrong direction. My eyebrows look crazy. But basically what you're supposed to be doing is coating the back of the hairs. So you're having this like highlight that's on the back of the hairs, and what it's going to do is the light will catch it because it's underneath the hairs, but it won't be as obvious. Like, even that looks cool. Like, it's not obviously gold. Okay, so can you see the difference? See the way that's just a little bit richer, but the light catches it, which is the whole point of this. It actually kind of gives a glossy finish to your brows, which I kind of like. Like I said, it's my first time using it, so I'll probably have to play around with it a little bit more, but this is cool. Can't remember what the other colour is. I'm gonna have to look that up, but it is on the website at the moment. So just make sure you brush the pencil through the brows back to front, because like I said, if you put it in the normal way, then you'll just have gold brows, which you don't want. Oh, I think that's so cool. So basically the idea behind this is that it'll make your eyebrows look a bit thicker, because the way the light, you know, it's encouraging the light to hit the hairs, which anytime you invite light anywhere, it will make something look bigger, you know, same with highlighting. It's going to enhance it. So that's the idea behind these gloss sticks, and I really was very like, when I first heard about them, but when you kind of see them in action and hear them explained a little bit better, which I probably didn't explain very well, it does kind of make sense. Now, this is another product I'm kind of excited about, but it's very like the MAC brows. Like, it's the exact same product pretty much, but this one has a spoolie on the end, which, you know, does make it better. So this is a mechanical pencil, but just like the MAC one, this does not come back down, it'll only go up. So make sure you only have a teeny tiny bit up at a time, and this has a matte finish, so it can look a bit more like the natural hair, I suppose. So I'm going to leave my eyebrows like that. I'm not going to go crazy with them. I love how fine of a line you can get with these pencils as well. But anyhow, I'm going to leave my brows at that, and that will just give you an idea of what those two are. I know they have some other new brow pencil out as well, but these are the only two I have. Then we're getting down to the last few bits. So we have this guy. I'm going to use this as blusher, even though it's kind of like a highlight. I'm so pale that I use it as blusher. It is the Fusion Soft Lights Baked StarBlush. It's really, really pretty. Like, it'll give a sheen to the, you can see here, it gives a nice sheen to the cheeks. So that's it without, that's it with. So it's really pretty. I think if you have a deeper skin tone, it'll be more of a highlight. And for me, it's kind of like a highlighted blush almost. Now, if you wanted to, you could go in with a really small brush and just go into the white, but I could not be bothered. And I really like the highlight I have from the this guy, the Hollywood and Highlight stick. So lovely blush. Obviously you wouldn't use anything this light reflective on anyone who has a lot of texture on their skin, so when I'm suffering from spots on my cheek, which happens a lot, I won't go for this, but when I'm not, luckily today I'm not, I will, and I just think that's so, so pretty. Then for, what are we down to? We're just down to lips then. Goody, because otherwise I could be here for another 10 hours. This is one of the lipsticks I got when I was in London. It's called Paris Pink Matte. Look at that. And it is a matte, even though what I do like about the Smashbox mattes is that they're not dry mattes, like the Retro Mattes by MAC. These are slightly more satin finish mattes, so that's so pretty. I'd love this on a blonde with warm skin tone. Not so much on my own skin tone, but I have worn it and I do like it. This I adore. This is Fireball Matte by Smashbox, obviously, and this has my name engraved on it. I'm pretty sure I showed this before. Well, I did show this before after London, but there you go. And what I'm going to wear today is the newest one that was sent to me. This is called Femme Fatale, and it's one of their mattes as well. So I'm just going to throw this all over the lip. Look at this. It's like a beautiful berry shade. Right up my alley. So I'm just going to throw it straight on and then maybe use a brush to perfect the shape. And there is the finished look and the last product that I needed to talk about today. So yeah, I hope this was helpful and gave you a bit of an overview of the brand as well, because they're not really a brand that I had considered a huge amount before, say, going to London with them with the PRs, and like apart from buying the few bits that I'd gotten in the past. But I definitely have a big long wish list of stuff that I want now. If you have any questions for me, as usual, anyhow, leave them below and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. And if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. I do upload at least twice a week. And that's it for now, guys. So thanks a million for watching, and I'll see you on Friday for my next video. Slán.